top of the morning. So here's the thing, the irony in a lot of this shit is that this year I didn't even plant anything. Look at my garden. I did not even plant anything this year because I am planning to get the deck redone. I've been fighting myself about it for a while, which is why there has been no progress to actually getting the deck done, because I kept saying to myself, it's fine the way it is. It's cute. I'll have it make do. And, you know, I just, and I honestly, I did not have the time because I worked so much, which is why I kept delaying and putting it off. But knowing deep down, I actually want to get it done. So, the thing is that so I didn't plan anything because I knew my vacation time, and I was saying to myself, well, I won't plan anything because I don't want to harm anything when they're doing what they need to do for the deck. So I didn't plan anything. So what delayed the deck getting done now is that on my days off closer to my vacation, I noticed how the garden had grew and the things that grew. And you know, as a preserver of life, right? I said, oh no, I can't do anything now. I have to wait again because it looks so beautiful to me and so full without me actually going into the dirt and planting anything. I'm like, no, it doesn't make sense for me to do it. So I'm not gonna do it. Right? I'm gonna wait again. Because I am not going to harm what has grown in there. I'm not gonna pluck anything, pick anything or whatever. I'm not gonna do it, right? Yes, I'm having my coffee this morning, but you know what I wanted to say? What I have learned from my garden is that it is actually true to what some of those memes were saying. That people try to bury you, and baby, they didn't realize you was a motherfucking seed. And that the lessons was the germination process. And it feels dark and it feels cold and you feel separated and you go through all of these emotions, all while saving face. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you gotta fake it till you fucking make it. I had to, even though I shared my story, my job requires me to be professional at all times. So I had to put on a face. I had to fake like everything was okay in order to remain professional at my occupation. And I had to fake that during the healing process until I made it to be healed during the time that I was still fully employed. And when I look back in retrospect, baby, so much I have learned. And I'm going to share some of the things that I have learned with you because shit, at some point in your healing from the breakup or whatever separation, you'll reach this point too if you haven't already. That whatever God you subscribe to, whatever creator you subscribe to, ain't no joke, and don't play when it comes to you, baby. Don't play. Because let me tell you, they are the parental guidance that we need in our adulthood. For those of us who have poor relationships with our physical parents, or for those of us who have parents that are our physical parents that birthed us are no longer with us. When I tell you that the tough love, because baby, if it were up to us, a lot of us would still be in those fucked up, toxic ass, one sided relationships, still making excuses to be with this particular person, still trying to understand why they do the things that they do in hopes of salvaging the relationship and the history. But baby, God steps in and say, you know what? I really have to show you that I have more for you, I have better for you, and that although I give you free will over your own destiny to a degree, if I see you on a crash course to your demise, if I see you on a crash course to because like you trying to be in my lane. This is the message that I got from the creator, right? You trying to be in my lane because you have free will, but now you're trying to take control. Because I am clearly showing you that I have different plans for you, that your life is supposed to go a certain way, and by you not correlating with your free will and becoming a better version of yourself, because you are stuck in this motherfucking cycle right here. You refuse to let go. You're trying to control it, and it is taking you all the way to another side where not only did I not intend for you to go, but those were lessons that you had already learned, and there's no reason for you to repeat them, because now we're in a phase where you're ascending. And a part of the ascension is because you have closed out those cycles and now you're ready to move forward. Well, honey, let me tell you something about all my experiences that I have been having, because along with the breakup, I've had the severing of friendships. I've had the realigning of sisterhoods. I got a first-hand look at and a reevaluation of the people that I was loving, the people that I prioritized, and it's tear jerking when the fucking rose petals are removed from your motherfucking glasses. First of all, Judas, I wasn't supposed to wait for that motherfucker, right? And so A lot of my healing also came from me having to honestly forgive myself for doing so. I wasn't supposed to wait for that motherfucker. That 13-year hiatus. I wasn't supposed to do that. I wasn't supposed to put any portion of my life on hold for that motherfucker. Because the day that he decided to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do that caused that separation had nothing to do with me or my children. He was not thinking about me or my children. He made that decision out of plain selfishness. And that, from that decision on, like, that was my cue, for lack of better words, for me to see that he was not for me, that the relationship was one-sided then, and that he had not chose me ever. And not that I was a pick-me bitch. That's not what I'm fucking saying, you know. Don't get ignorant about this shit. We having a heart-to-heart. When you are in a relationship and you are in love, or two people are in love, you want to think or believe, or somehow you know that, you know, you guys will always choose each other, because the relationship has been able to sustain up until that point a lot of turbulence. So, you know, you figure, you know, I'll always choose him, he'll always choose me. But back then in 2007 was a motherfucking eye-opener for me to see that he did not choose me then, and he would not ever choose me. I was the motherfucking one doing all the motherfucking choosing. A lot of women love is so pure and so divine in nature that the goddess within continuously forgives the enemy. And here's what I mean by that. Man, for the longest time, when the good book used to say forgive your enemies, you know, or pray for your enemies, man, I used to say, why the fuck would I pray for my enemies when a motherfucker is out to cause me some type of harm? Pray means I'm gonna uplift them in a positive way, to say you need some type of help and I feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for these motherfuckers when they are adults making conscious decisions to wrong someone that ain't did a motherfucking thing to them, right? But during this breakup, here's what I've begun to understand about praying for your enemy, because I had not realized that all the time, well, I won't say all the time, but most of the time, that I had spent my time, my resources, and my life praying for my fucking enemies. Because deceit and envy never comes from motherfucking strangers. They always come from motherfuckers you know. And when I wasn't aware that they were enemies, I was motherfucking praying for them. to be kept, for their safety, for their well-being. When I laid down and gave my motherfucking body to you, nigga, that was the highest form of prayer physically displayed through the love, the purest love that I have for you. That was prayer. Not even being aware that I was sleeping with the fucking enemy. And I was blindsided because I never done anything to Judas. Everything that I've done was done purely with good intent, out of love, and for him and with him. So I couldn't grasp at that time that he was an enemy. It wasn't until the motherfucking breakup when you start to see motherfuckers for who they really are. Shocked the motherfucking shit out of me. And so I'm in this wide open space right now. When I say wide open, because again, there's a meme going around, at least I believe, if my memory serves me right, I believe the first time I've ever read about it was, excuse me, the first time I ever read about it was a meme on Instagram. And the meme said, once you are awakened, you can't go back to sleep no matter how hard you try. Baby, if that shit ain't motherfucking true, because I can't unsee it. I can't see I can't unsee him for who he really is, nor his motherfucking family. Child, I have spent 13 years. Well, let's say 14. And I'm saying that because his incarceration period was 13, but it took him a couple of months to be able to get home, So we're going to say 13 and a half, and we're going to round that off to 14, but neither here nor there. I spent over a decade dedicating my life to the motherfucking enemy. That is some shit. Motherfuckers that don't even like you. They don't like the traits of your growth, the proof that you're evolving. And that motherfucker couldn't stand. He couldn't stand the fucking fact that I had become this woman. Because before he left, I was still in the process of growing. And when I think back to some of the arguments that we had, to some of the things he would say, shit, those was my fucking signs. But couples argue. Nothing's fucking perfect. You go through shit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's true when you argue, you say, you can say some hurtful things. But at the time, I didn't deem them as hurtful. I deemed them as, he just popping shit because he mad. Yeah. Oh, he is popping shit because he mad. And he's still motherfucking mad. That motherfucker, who I had become, was not only too much for him, he wasn't attracted to it anymore. he had no control over anything. And you know what was sad is that to want to control a person is not only demonic, right? It's sick. It's like a mental fucking sickness. Oh shit. Hold on, bear with me, bear with me. Okay, you all. It's a mental sickness, right? To want to fucking control somebody. Then you want to control somebody when you ain't even got control over your own motherfucking self. And the reality of it in most relationships, well, I don't want to say most, because I don't, in my relationship, is that I don't think he realized that motherfucker, he never had control of me. When you are strong and self-aware, no one outside of you can control you without your compliance. Let me put it that way. So, nigga, you didn't have control. I felt at that time and in my youthful thinking that I had to compromise a lot of myself because you were the man in the relationship and men were supposed to lead. I had no motherfucking idea that he was leading me to hell. I was going off of Ebonics and, you know, what I learned in the hood, what I learned growing up in my family, that men were the leaders of the home. Not fully even understanding why that was or how that came to be. I just called myself falling in line with the things that I was taught up until that point. And as I began to grow in my womanhood, even then, I dumbed myself down to a degree because of the teachings that I had learned up until that point. It is sad that the very things about me, the knowledge, the wisdom, the strength, the very things about me that kept him afloat during his incarceration was the same shit he ended up resenting me for. Second of all, I was disappointed, gravely disappointed that he didn't want to be with me. Okay, but I was more disappointed that he just didn't tell me that. His decision, his conscious choice to mistreat me, disrespect me, disregard me and our children up in here because he had other plans for himself that he was not man enough to tell me about, that entailed him being with someone else. And maybe he didn't have to tell me that, you know. I just felt like I should have not been the last to know of his plans, and I was, and I did not figure all of that shit out until the relationship was over. And it is ugly of our culture and our society to look at a woman, look down on a woman when a man decides to leave his situation or circumstance. Now, he's a whole crazy shit about that. He went and told his family and friends a whole bunch of lies and bullshit about me. And let me tell you, honey, the Thanksgiving that he came home, me and him had a whole big motherfucking fight, a whole big motherfucking argument because, baby, that motherfucker gonna try to tell me that I was having an affair with his brother, and that he saw in my phone me sending inappropriate pictures of lingerie and things like that to his brother. Now, let me say this. Make that motherfucking shit make sense. First of all, I'm not even that type of bitch. But this was part of his plans to empower himself to exit. He had to make me look a certain type of way to everyone else that knew of us, because at that point I was looking too motherfucking dope. And he couldn't fucking take it. I was looking dope because of me. Because I maintained a home. I maintained his status of a man with good standing within our immediate family dynamic. I took care of him no matter what the struggles I went through to do so, but I took care of him in our incarceration, and I took care of our family. I managed to establish myself financially, emotionally, physically, and maintain the entire circumstances until his return. On top of that, I waited for him to return. So to everyone outside of us, I was looking like a golden girl. He couldn't stand that shit. So it was better for him to sabotage our relationship, and one of the ways that he could do that is to try to turn people against me, to have my image be tarnished, so that in the process he can build himself up to leave. So when he do leave, it appears as though he had a legitimate reason. And so now nobody would look at him as like he's a fucked up nigga, or nobody would blame him because well, the information that was put out there regarding me was fucked up. And I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't have stayed neither. Now let me take you back to the Thanksgiving. So we had this whole big motherfucking fight because he accused me of having an inappropriate relationship with his brother. Now, not only am I not that type of bitch, but let me just jog this by you. Alright? Say for example, because there's bitches out there that's like that. And I know that. You know that. There's trifling bitches out there. Oh, that's a fact. So, if I was a trifling bitch, right? Why would I wait for him to come home to fuck around with his brother? That motherfucker been gone for 13 and a half motherfucking years. If I wanted the motherfucking brother, I had all the time in the motherfucking world to be able to shoot my shot, or to build something, or to be with him, or whatever the fuck the situation was. I had all the time in the world to be able to fucking do that. So why wait until he come home to try or have an inappropriate relationship with the brother? It was so much, right? So that's just one example. My mind and my memory, them shits is flashing so fast in my mind, so just bear with me. Another time was his friend, a guy that he was incarcerated with, was texting him, and I don't know where he left his phone at, but anyway, I got to see the response. And the response to the text message, the friend said to him was, yeah, I don't blame you. I would be upset too, because I would not want to be with anybody who thinks they're the boss of me, telling me what to do. I said, So, of course, naturally, now I'm going to go further in these text messages, because at that moment, silly me thought that they were referring to another female. Had no motherfucking idea until I got further into the text that he was referring to me. But this is a time where he's building the tarnishment of my image to other people, because he does not want to be with me, and he does not want to be a part of the dynamic that awaited for. He just don't want to be there. And then again, adulting isn't easy. It isn't easy, but I felt a lot of resentment and a lot of anger, because I was so disrespected when I haven't ever disrespected that man. Like, I was just getting a lot of shit that I never gave. And even in his emotion where he felt like he didn't want to be in a relationship, I felt like I should have been the first to know. And to have that talk may have not been motherfucking easy for him, but who gives a fuck? Like, we all face difficulties in motherfucking life. Nigga, you done faced the whole fucking charge and did time behind that charge. I'm quite sure that wasn't easy either. So, when I think back on it, I had let's not even say red flags. Bitch, I had stop signs. I had motherfucking boulders from the time he got locked up to the motherfucking time he resided back home with me. Boulders as proof that our time was done. And I refused to believe it, because I wanted my family. I refused to believe it because I wanted our children to have something that we never had, which was a 2-parent home. And there were still parts of the hood that had me believe that he was a father, he was a man, and it was things that he'd be able to teach my son that I could not. Baby, whole motherfucking time. You hear what I say? Whole motherfucking time. I was in cahoots with the motherfucking enemy, didn't even know. Because love is the highest vibration. And out of the pure love for people, it's just some shit you just don't fucking do. You just don't fucking do. And you cannot, and nor will anyone ever convince me again that you love someone while simultaneously consciously making decisions to hurt them. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Love is a motherfucking action word. Love is the highest vibration, and it is a motherfucking, it's a word of action. It's a verb. Or is it a fucking noun? I can't even remember right now. It's a word of action. And love forces you to go into action no matter the fucking circumstance. Positive action. Love is not abandonment. Love is not betrayal. Love is not envy. Love is not deceit. Love is not fucking physical, emotional, or mental harm or imminent danger to any person or bodies. It's not. So, while he was motherfucking plotting to bury me, my garden taught me that I was a whole motherfucking seed, and that he was trying to bury me, but God was planting me, and that my germination period just meant that my harvest will be will be plentiful in my blooming season. So I just wanted to share that with you. And honey, as much as it hurt when I was going through it, I'm still grateful for the lessons that I have learned, because my harvest is fruitful. I am a whole evolved version of myself. I am very proud of myself. I'm so I'm so good right now. I'm so good right now that my heart is full with joy. I am healed past that motherfucking breakup, honey. And I have a birthday coming up, and I got plans. And right now I'm in the process of trying to figure out what I want for myself in the near future. What is it that I want to do? How do I want to proceed? Because I have spent most of my life to this day giving, giving, giving so much of myself. And now I'm trying to decide, what do I want for me to give back to me for me. And I got to take my time in making this decision, because in making this decision, this isn't a short-term goal. It's a long-term goal. Because my harvest has bloomed so beautifully that it has inspired me to understand that delay isn't a no, but there's a delay with reason. And now because my heart, this is just so beautiful. My heart, I know I keep repeating myself, but it's just so beautiful and it's so full and it's so green. Without me planning anything in the spring, I didn't plan anything because I was going to get the deck redone this summer. But um, I'm going to wow. I'm going to configure what it is that I want to do because I'm inspired now to understand that whatever it is that I plant in this season will harvest a even more fuller, more bountiful, more abundant Brussels next season and the seasons to follow because I will have done it with intent. I will do it with intent. I did have intent. And my intent was just to try to help the people that I love because when I was in a certain space and time in my life and I felt alone during certain times, I didn't have anyone to assist me in the ways that I needed assisting. I know how that felt. And so I always felt like I won't ever do that to somebody that I love. If I'm loving you and I can be there for you, then that's just what I'm going to do. So there was intent. It was just unknowing to me at that time because I was doing what I felt was right and exact in my heart. But the intent has shifted to self-preservation and self-love and finding out what it is I want for myself and understanding that the dynamics of love is it has changed, it has reversed. Like before I used to feel like if I put everybody that I love in front of me and I make sure that they good, I will be good because they're good. But it does not work like that. I have to put myself first and make sure that I'm good. And the people that I love will be able to benefit from me being good. And that's how you recycle the energy. Because I'm good, then they'll be good. And then when they're good, I'll be better. That's how that goes. And so I'm working on that right now. And I know I took up some of your time, but it's all right. We connecting, we rebuilding, getting our shit together. And celebrating. And that's where I'm at with this shit right now. And there's more things that I've learned, of course, and I probably got a little bit off course from some of the lessons that I've learned because, we talking and sometimes things can never go according as planned, but it's okay. I'll be back again later, but right now I'm in a good motherfucking space. And I hope that you're in a better space than you were yesterday, than you were last week, than you was last year. Today is going to be self-maintenance day. So I'm going to get some things done this time. It's time. Yeah. So enjoy. Blessings to you. We'll get up again soon.